Howdy friends, it's your old pal Shred, welcoming you back to another episode of Frogger World. This episode is about the color green. We are going to work on green circuits and get some green science going. So let's get started. First off, one thing I noticed is that we have the ability to make blue assembly machines. The blue assembly machines that are second tier, and these have a crafting speed of 0.75 versus 0.5. So we get about a 50% speed boost by using the blue. So, and I'm going to leave some space, and this is kind of where I anticipate the green circuits coming out, and we're going to build it kind of across from our steel. So we want to give it some room. And the green circuits work in a ratio of 3 copper cable to 2 green circuit assembly machines. And typically what I found is that it's best to direct insert the cables into the green circuit assembly machines than to try to build them separately and put them on a belt. Essentially what happens here is that for 1 copper plate, you get 2 copper cable. So as far as getting things down the belt to where you want them to go, imagine you can put twice as much copper on a belt using plate than you can using cables. So if you're worried about getting stuff down to your factories, down to your assembly machines, getting it down there in a plate form is a lot more efficient than trying to get it down there in the cable form. Whether it's belts or robots, there's only so much stuff that they can carry at one time. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And then we're going to tie this in to our main bus, use a splitter, get this down, perfect. Next we're going to bring the iron in, do the exact same thing. I almost screwed up here. We want 2 spaces between each set of belts. And the reason for that is because these underground belts can reach exactly 4 spaces. So if you were trying to jump through this stuff, you can see you need 2 spaces to make this magic work. Back to business. That's not how you make belts work. There we go. And what we're going to do, we're going to output these to the side. And there we go. And the output would insert into these or go through these splitters. Splitters come down, and our first lane of green circuits will come out this way. Perfect. All we have to do is add some power, and we'll run this down. And what we'll do for now is try to get like a main bus of power running down the center, as opposed to doing this stuff, having this up here. So we'll take this down, and then we'll connect kind of along the way, clean it up a little bit there. And that way we'll just branch stuff off, and there we go. Green circuits getting built. And we can just expand this down this way, and eventually what we're going to do is we'll start building these on both sides. And so we'll have a mirror essentially like this, building the same thing but off this way. All right, perfect. Now the next thing we want to do is get some, so that being said, I should have left those in place. Let's make sure. So we're going to have belts running this way, we're going to have another steel or iron belt this way, inserter, and I'll make some more of these, and that'll just give us some, we don't have to finish it up, but I want to make sure we leave enough space so that can happen. All right, so next we are going to then start our, I kind of call it an early game build. We're just going to build a long chain of items that we're going to need. So what we're going to do is half the belt is going to be green circuits, and we'll go like that, and then the other half will split off from the plate here. And these will come in, and we'll see that each item will be placed on opposite sides of the belt. Perfecto. First thing we're going to do, and hopefully I have enough room here. Just enough. So what I want to do is we're going to have a gear belt to kind of feed this. And I want the gears to be on both sides of the belt. And so we're going to run another line. And so assuming this max distance, I'm only planning on maximum 2 lanes of green circuits, but we shall see. We shall see how things go. Alrighty. So I'll have gears here, gears there, gears everywhere. And again, hook this up to our main power bus, which is blowing this way. And there, now we have gears. So next thing I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to clear some trees. So give me a second, I'm gonna clear some trees, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so trees are chopped. I actually ran through 2 steel picks that I had. Gonna make some more. And steel picks are great. You get a nice boost in the speed at which you can tear stuff down. Is it a pickaxe? What do we call these things? Just an axe. It's not a pickaxe. Just a steel axe. Anyway. So here's gonna be our gears. I'm gonna leave room right there. Perhaps another set of gear building. And so some of the things we want to build are, we want to build belts. Probably going to build 2 of these. Underground belts and splitters. There's underground belt and splitters. Next, we're going to want to do inserters. And we'll run power right away. Now here's the cool thing about this, and we'll just run both these all the way up. So with gears, iron plate, and circuits, you're pretty much ready to roll with just about anything. So let's take a look here. Here we have belts, iron plate, gears, perfect, check, and check. And we're going to output these. I'm going to need some more of these. We're going to output these onto another belt. And just a quick note, when inserters are placing stuff down, they always place onto the farthest edge of the belt. When it comes to underground belts, you need belts and iron plate. Well, as luck would have it, we have both. And what we'll do, we'll just output these to a chest right over here and limit it to 1 stack. And there we go. It's getting built. For splitters, green circuits, iron plate, belt. Wow. Groovy. We'll limit it to 1 stack. Here we are for inserters, green circuits, gears, iron plate. Look at that. We got everything we need. What we're going to do, we're going to place this onto belts, but we're going to face them this way. And we're going to bring these together and pump it out like this. And that way we have belts and yellow inserters on on the same belt, but opposite sides. And this is going to be used for green science, because if you take a look, green science, inserters, transport belts. Easy peasy. And I'm also going to just place down a box so it's easy to swing by here and pick some up if I want. Alrighty, so next on our list of things to build will be these things, what we're placing down. And we're going to feed one into the other, so it's going to have a different look than this, but that's fine. But we're going to find it's the same deal. Green circuits, gears, iron plate. Same thing, except that we need assembly machines 1 to make this work. Lay down some power. And what we'll do, we'll just output some of these over to here. All right, and since it's nighttime again in our lovely Frogger world, that reminds me, it's probably a good idea to make some lamps. Lamps, again, we're going to have everything we need. The only thing we don't have is iron sticks, and we can make them right here. All right, so we will run down our, chop some more trees. Seems like that's all I do is chop trees. I mean, look at all my wood, jeez. There, there, there. Actually, we probably don't need gears coming down here. We'll see. Let's see how far we need it. And there we go. And we'll output these into a chest. And like magic, we built them just in time for the sun to come up. But we'll be ready for next time. And one more thing, I mean, you look through here, most of this stuff uses the same things. All this early game stuff all uses iron plate in some form. Maybe it's putting it into pipe, but gear wheels, green circuits. Green circuits, iron plate. All right, now we're going to want to go ahead, chop down more trees, and get our science assembly machines. So start making the different sciences. Well, red and green. So already, before we get into the science, we can see it's kind of sparse on the gears. That's why I left room here. I had a feeling that wasn't going to be enough. So we'll do gears here as well. But the next problem will be iron plate, etc., etc. Didn't I create a chest? No, I guess not. Drop down some power, and there we go. Now, let's go and get started with our green science, our red science rather. We need copper plate, iron gear wheels. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run another line of iron plate, and essentially what we could do is we could split it off like this and run it that way. I think 3 sets. I'm kind of building this kind of far up. We can move this down a little bit, and the only reason I'm moving it down a little bit is because of the trees, and I don't feel like the less I have to cut down trees, the better. So we're going to output these here, and again, these output on the opposite side of the belt, or the far side of the belt. So in, out, like so. All right, and so in addition to the, we're going to need copper plate. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to get our copper plate, bring it down. We're going to insert it on the near edge from where we're building gears. Perfect. We're going to lay down some power, and we're going to lay down our red science labs. And we're going to build 5 of them. Why are we going to build 5? Because we're going to shoot for 1 red science per second. And as you can see, we can make 1 red science pack every 5 seconds. So it would make sense. If you got 5 of them, you're going to make 1 science pack per second. So we're going to pull that back a little bit. Red, 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 red. Bam. Perfect. And we need some more inserters. We have some. We have some of these. Life is grand. Automation, name of the game. Bring this belt up. Connect these. Bring this down to our power bus, and things should start working. Actually, you know what I'm probably going to do? Instead of doing that, I'm going to use long-handed inserters. We're going to do that. And then it's more tree chopping time. Alright, so next we're going to want our green science. There's 4. And we're going to do 6 this time. So if we take a look at green science, we get 1 every 6 seconds. Stands to reason, 6 of them, 1 per second. And I just kind of go with that 1 per second. And that way when you do that with all your sciences, kind of keeps it even in terms of production. So you're not producing too many reds and too few greens. They should be kind of even. And then we will run this guy over to here. Some more belts. And perfect. We should get green science. Excellent. Now, finally, more tree chopping. And look, it's nighttime. We got lights. Life is grand. I can see, you can see, we can see. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to run up and grab all the stuff that was making our old science build. And on my way up there, I noticed this is probably, I'm going to guess, why we weren't making too much here. There, that should help in our production efforts, connecting up all the belts. All right, so here is where we had our initial science, some mining going on. I've basically torn everything out that consisted of our initial iron mine. And we'll head back. So on our way back, I can see that one of the problems we have is not enough ore, and it looks like power is a problem too. So yeah, these aren't running too quick. Before we jump into that, let's just finish up what we're doing here, which isn't going to help our power problems any. And kind of just get this finished. So we're going to have red and green here, and then probably what we're going to do at some point is we're going to have our blue and purple running this way. And apparently, can I make one more? Can we do that? Yes, we're going to make one more for now. And I saw someone, we're going to have one more space away. So we'll put these 2 spaces away from the nearest belt. And although I haven't seen it personally, I was told that this is something Anti-Elites does. Anti-Elites is a speed runner. You can do this. And it's a real fast, easy way. You're just placing down 2 long-handed inserters. And there we go. Everything for red and green science should be good to go. I think I have some extra red science on me. Let's give it a whirl, see how it works. There, military 2. That'll give us actually our piercing rounds. That's actually a good thing to build right now. And there we go. Everything's working. So only one set of these long-handed inserters is working. The other set will be for this other belt, which will hold our blue and purple signs. Good enough. And we'll call it a day right there. Next time, we're going to have to work on our power, adding more iron ore, and possibly getting some oil up and running. I'll have to take a look, think about it, what we want to look at next, because the next big step is getting to blue science. We don't need it yet, but that's going to be the big thing, is getting to blue science, which involves oil processing, batteries, plastic, all sorts of stuff. So that'll be the next step. So we'll see you next time. If you liked, please leave a like. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so you can keep up with all this Factorio goodness. So until next time, be good. See ya.